Well, what an interesting week for leaks, Mortal Kombat leaks, Warner Brothers, possible Smash Brothers game leaks, but a new leak has emerged from 4chan, yes, our great 4chan, and I decided to go over it, break it down, and give my thoughts. So let's get to it. So as I said, this post does come from 4chan, again from Anonymous, a lovely Anonymous, whoever the anonymous person is, you're a saint. This was posted last night about 8:13, and it says, not posting any information to get in trouble or expose myself, but I wanted to share a bit of news that I have regarding Mortal Kombat 12, or its working title. This is the juicy part. Mortal Kombat 12 Ragnarok. Now I know what you're thinking, Justin, Ragnarok, that sounds like a Norse title, like Thor Ragnarok. Well, you're right, and I looked up the definition of Ragnarok, or got some more information for it, and Ragnarok is a series of events, including a great battle foretold to lead to the death of a number of great figures or gods, has natural disasters, and submerges the world in water. After these events, the world will resurface anew and fertile, and the surviving and remaining gods will meet and will repopulate the world. And yeah, that's basically what Ragnarok is. So it's, a cataclysmic event starting anew, and then, we have life going on as normal. So it kind of is interesting that that's a working title for the possible Mortal Kombat 12. I'm sure, Ragnarok would not be a title that we'd actually possibly see on the Mortal Kombat game, but nonetheless, it is a very interesting title, and it kind of should foretell more of what the story has in store for us as far as the new game. So, continuing on with the leak, it says, following the active events of Mortal Kombat 11, Fire God Liu Kang must set the timeline right, with the guidance of Raiden and Katana. During this time, the power of the Hourglass awakes Kronos, another Titan and the father of Shinnok and Cetrion. Kronos seeks to return the power of the Hourglass to the Titans by waging war with the gods. With the assistance of unlikely allies and pushed to the edge of time, Fire God Liu Kang and his allies must defeat the Mad Titan before he gets his hands on the Hourglass. That's very interesting. Now, I did poke some holes in this, and I did want to kind of, when I read this, I was like, okay, I don't know that we're going to have Kronika and Kronos, Now, Kronos is like the literal Greek god of time, the mythological god of time. So that is very literal, being Kronos. But I think Mortal Kombat, I think we got Kronos, we got Kronika from Kronos. So I think they're one and the same. Instead of being the father, I think she was the mother, right? I don't think that we need to have Kronika's husband come into play. I don't think that's really necessary. What I think actually might happen, and this is just my idea, this isn't with the leak, but this kind of got me thinking from the leak, what if we actually had the mythological being Chaos? Actually, now that may not be the name of the character, but Chaos, what if that person actually came into play as a result of what Fire God Liu Kang did in upsetting timelines and actually not having Kronika around anymore? So in mythology, Chaos actually predates all gods. He is kind of like the void. He's the, not one being, but like he's the void. He's the creator. He's actually not created the primordial gods. So he would have been the one that actually created Kronika, if we were to go kind of in that mode, because he created Kronos. So I think if we went with that, that would be interesting, because if you think about it, the the Titan of time is gone, right? So there's an imbalance. So I think having Chaos come into play to kind of fill in the gaps, or be like the destroyer of worlds or timelines, and then recreate them, is an interesting idea. I think that kind of adds on to possibly what this leaker was trying to say. So that's just my interpretation. I don't think we're going to actually have like Kronos. That would be really weird, Kronos and Kronika. It's possible, but I hope that we don't have that. I hope we have something new and more large scale, more like a Galactus type figure that, is going to come in and be even more powerful than Kronika and kind of try to help set things straight. So continuing on with the leak, it says there is not a 100% confirmed roster as of yet, but several characters have been locked in for the base, and those are currently involved in the story to some capacity. So we have Fire God Liu Kang, we have past Liu Kang pre-Fire God, we have Mortal Raiden, that's of course Raiden without his lightning and a Shaolin fighting style. We have Katana, Melina, Human Cyrax, Human Sector, that one's new, Reptile, Taven, Cassie Cage from the future. Ooh, some time travel. Love that. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, the Great Kung Lao, Smoke, and Jax. Now, it's a very interesting group of characters there. And, you know, of course, the ones that stand out in my mind are Melina, the Human Cyrax and Sector, Taven, the Cassie Cage from the future, of course, the Great Kung Lao, and Smoke. The other ones seem pretty standard. I know we didn't get Reptile in the previous games, but he could be in this one. I really like the future aspect. And I'm guessing Human Cyrax and Sector will be from the past. So it's obviously an older timeline. So it's interesting that we could have, you know, characters from all over the Mortal Kombat universe kind of taking effect in this one game. It's possible. I think that's part of what's going to be. It's like a fracture of time. Ooh, that's what they should call it. Mortal Kombat 12 Fractured Time. Look at that. Copyright Justin McGill. Anyways, not really. And the last bit of news he has, or last bit of leaked information he has is, I don't know when it will be revealed, but it will not be at the Game Awards this year. Now, in all the previous leaks that we've been talking about on the channel, they've all mentioned some type of release or even a tease at the Game Awards. Mortal Kombat has had a good presence at the Game Awards and past events, so it's possible they could do that. They've also talked about having like a May 2022 release date. I still think we're too close. We got to give more time. I could be wrong. They could be really stepping up their game at NetherRealm Studios and trying to get this stuff cranked out, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I don't think that we're going to have an announcement. If anything, maybe a tease. Maybe a tease, but I don't think anything full-fledged. Maybe just like a working title, you know, or a project name or something. That's something I will get. So what do you think about this leak? What do you think about the idea of having, if not a spouse of Kronika, but maybe just like a larger being that possibly created Kronika, created the universe, that created everything and anything, coming after Liu Kang, trying to undo what he did and recreate? What do you think about that concept? What do you think about some of the characters that were discussed? What do you think about that future Cassie Cage, having Taven involved, that Human Sector? That's kind of an interesting thrown in there. What do you think about all that? And do you think we'll get a release sometime this year? And that's it for this video, guys. Hit the like button. If you want something else, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.